Blue Devil gang shit, you already know what it is.
Alright, check this out. You guys are back on the episode of Blue Devil Reactions, and what we have going on today is part 2 of East LA Gangs. So yesterday I dropped a video titled East LA Gangs 1978 mini documentary. As a matter of fact, if you haven't seen it or watched it yet, go click right here, go watch that video first, and then come back to this one. Well, this is part 2. A lot of people in the comments were asking me to make a reaction to part 2. Even people in the comments said they were related to people in the video. That is crazy. That is wild. How this video is so old, and people that are related to the gangbangers in the video somehow found my video. That's sort of nuts, to tell you the truth. But at the end of the video, there was a guy that had got shot. People in the comments were saying that he did not go to the hospital. I haven't watched it yet, so we're gonna watch it together. But before we get into this video, if you guys are new to Blue Devil Reactions, make sure you go over, hit the subscribe button, run up the comments, run up the likes for the algorithm. You already know, and continue to do what it do. That way we can keep dropping these videos. That way we can be consistent. We've been dropping 2-3 videos a day. Today is Saturday. I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this, but we're going to be going live tonight on the Hater World. Live music video request. Yesterday was pretty dope. A lot of people joined. We were listening to a lot of great music. I got put on to a lot of great artists, and it was a great thing, right? It was a great live to be. So again, tonight we're going to be going live on the Hater World. If you guys don't follow us there, make sure you do so at the Hater World. Also, if anybody wants to hit me up directly or talk to me directly, hit me up on my Instagram. That's the best way to contact me. Also, the Hater World. Basically, all our ads are the Hater World. Twitter, Twitch, not MySpace, my bad. Facebook. MySpace might make a comeback. I was reading some the other day, but Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Apple Music. Everything is the Hater World. So check this out. With no further ado, I don't want to hold you guys too long. East LA Gangs Part 2. Let's get you guys a Blue Devil reaction. Let's go.
This is not the only place. Look at ghettos in big cities and you'll find other gangs. White gangs, black gangs, Chinese gangs, among others. But those gangs come and go. Here, it is perpetual.
Look, why don't you go in the hospital and sit down?
Before A1, why can't I go home?
Why can't you, with a bullet in your back?
Yeah, why not?
Well,
Damn.
it'll kill you.
So what?
Hey, that motherfucker's tough, bro. To not want to go to the hospital after being shot. Now look, it all depends where you were shot at. Not to say that, he not a badass, because he's a badass. But, I know homies that got shot in the leg, in the foot, in the arm, that didn't go to the hospital, and they took it out themselves, or they went to a hood doctor. But once you get hit like in the arteries, or like the liver, your stomach, your chest, your head, like viral spots, you gotta go to the hospital, my boy. If not, you're gonna bleed out and die.
Mr. McBride, what about this attitude of the gang members? What they tell me, we're Robin Hoods.
That's not true. I like to forget the Robin and just call them hoods, because that's
Damn.
what they are. They terrorize the community. They rob people in the community.
Deputy Wes McBride.
Well, it depends what kind of gang you're from. I'll tell you like this. On the block that I used to be at, right, we used to always tell the homies, look, we don't steal on this block. We don't scare the neighbors. We don't disrespect the neighbors. We help the neighbors. We don't play that shit on this block. But I know there's gangs that don't care. And I know there's gangs where you got tweakers that'll rob the neighbors. Remember the movie Friday? Didn't you remember Debo and Smokey robbed the guy next door? It happens. And not only in black gangs, bro. Mexican gangs, white gangs. Some people don't care. But as far as like 1978, I think it was more structured back then because people were different. Now you got a lot of tweakers, a lot of crackheads, a lot of hoodlums. And back then it wasn't like that. You know, I'm sure it was, but not fully to the extent that it is now.
Helps run the sheriff's gang unit.
Many times the victim of the gang killing isn't a gang member. He may be an innocent bystander that's hit by a round fired at a gang member or mistaken for a gang member. There's nothing romantic about the gang member.
But that happens in every type of war, even if it's like, come on, bro, how many innocent bystanders got killed in World War II with the Nazis? You know, overseas in Iraq. Come on, bro, innocent bystanders die everywhere. You know, not to say that it's a good thing, because of course it's not. You know, anybody that's not within the gang lifestyle should die. But it does happen, bro. It happens in life in general. People that are robbing a store might kill an innocent bystander. It's life, bro. You know, when people, I know, put it like this, when people be like, oh, that job is dangerous. You know, nah, life is dangerous. Life is dangerous. It could happen to anybody, anywhere.
Middle-class Mexican Americans are embarrassed by their gangs and wish all attention was paid to the proud accomplishments of their community's majority. But the fact is that at least 1 out of every 10 local youths and many adults belong to gangs, despite the efforts by community groups and social service
Boredom.
agencies to stop gang warfare. And what are the conditions that breed Chicano violence? The percentage of Mexican Americans having less than 5 years schooling is 4 times the national average. Last year, 1 in 5 families of Spanish origin had incomes below the poverty level, while the rest of the population had less than 1 in 10.
Bro, it's boredom. Boredom creates gangs. Boredom. Boredom. Being bored. And I can speak from my experiences being at home bored. I didn't join the gang till after my parents separated. When they separated, I didn't have nothing to do at home by myself. All my brothers and sisters left with my mom, and I stayed with my father. I was the only child with my father. I have 2 sisters, 2 brothers. I think I might be missing one. You know, I forget. I forget. But everybody done left with my mother, and I stayed with my father. You know, and my father was always at work, and I had a big old house to myself, and he was gone, and I was bored, so I hit the streets. I went outside and I met people like my own, like me that were bored. You know, being a single child with somebody that's always at work, you're bored. You are bored. That's why today gangs are different, because you got the internet, you got video games, you got TV, you got Netflix, you got this. People are not going outside like they were back in the day. Back in the day, you were so bored, you go outside just to wander around, to go kick some rocks, to see what kind of trouble you can get into, you know, to discover things. Now, for what? We got the internet. We'll go to Google Earth, and we'll just go look at places. Like, it's not the same no more.
Their small homes are overcrowded, the people unemployed. Youngsters have nothing to do but hang out.
What'd I say?
The Catholic Church is one place they turn to for help, and Brother Modesto is a cleric whom they trust.
Why do we have brother against brother? Because they're frustrated. Maybe he doesn't have a job, maybe his school, he got kicked out, maybe he doesn't have any way to communicate, except that he feels good because the neighborhood will kind of help him, back him up if he's doing this thing.
It's always bored people fighting and angry people, and usually the angry people are angry because they're broke. You know, that's why. Pay attention, bro. Like, pay attention to like your surroundings, and when you see people fighting and arguing, usually they're angry because they're broke. You know, so keep your mind busy. Keep your mind busy. Stay busy at all times, even if it's like, even if you don't have a lot of money, keep your mind busy. Clean up. Do this. Do that. You know, be consistent. You know. But usually that's what it is.
You know, we belong to clubs and things that make us feel good, but some of these kids don't have any of that, and so it's recognition.
The streets.
The same conditions existing for young men exist for young women, and some of them have gangs of their own.
When you know that you're going to kick their ass, it's fun. When you know you're going to get your...
Didn't they spell trece wrong? Isn't it what a C? Trece? Trece? Rivera, Pico Rivera. I don't think it's with a S. I think it's with a C. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Ass kicked, then it's fun after when you know that somebody's there to back you up and going to kick their ass.
I know I'm gonna die of getting shot. I know I am. Because I used to tell God that I hope I don't die, but you know, if you say that, you're gonna die of that.
I think
When you're young like that, you don't care. I remember I felt the same way. I was like, I don't give a shit. It is what it is. I was outside handling business. It doesn't matter. But you know, as you get older, as you get responsibilities, maybe you got some kids, you know, maybe you found God, maybe you came to your senses, you start to figure out and realize that life is great. You know what I mean? Life is what you make it. So hopefully these homegirls right here are still alive to this day.
everybody's got a fear when they come to fighting, but it doesn't really. To me, it doesn't bother me as much. I mean, I can die, and I don't really care.
Like young men, young women have lengthy arrest records. Like men, they wish to appear tough, talk tough, be tough.
On this front, outside of me, I carried a tough attitude, that I was rough and tough. I never cried, that I was tough, and I could...
Hold on. She said, outside I was so rough and tough. Don't tell me Sapp and Roger owes her some money, homie. Don't tell me Sapp and Roger saw this and said, so rough, so tough. Because they owe right here, the homegirl, some feria.
Make it like that. But inside I carried fear.
Facts.
Ruth Sanchez joined the White Fence Gang when she was 11. She took us to her under the freeway.
When I would see other girls cut and bleeding or laying on the ground, I would feel pity for them, but I couldn't show it. So not to show pity, and I would show this toughness, I would walk by them and give them a swift kick. You know, and tell my homies, you see how tough? Hey, nobody can down us. We're number one.
She says she's no longer with the gang, right? Some gangs don't allow you to leave the gang. It all depends the policies of the gang, right? There's gangs that'll tell you once you're in, the only way out is in a casket. There's gangs that'll allow you to get a put off, which means they'll beat you up to join and they'll beat you up to get out. You know, a lot of gangs don't even have females for the simple fact that females, you can manipulate them, you can break them, you know. So the homies don't want that, you know. They don't want a female to get caught up and give up all the sauce. So it all depends on the gang itself. Let's go.
And we were fighting to be number one, meaning like when anybody around here would hear, here comes the girls from White Fence, they would tremble in fear and move aside. When we walk down the street, people
Reputation.
It's not that easy to leave your gang. Stay in the neighborhood and you're an outcast.
See?
Move away and there you're an outsider.
When did you first say to yourself, I want out, I don't want anything more to do with gang?
When she grew up, when she got out of prison, or when she met God. Watch.
And I've got to get out.
My children were already born. 4 of my children were born, and I had just came out of the prison.
Oh, bro. Sometimes I think I'm a magician. You know, some of the homies used to call me wizard back in the day. I'm not gonna lie. I was real young, right? I be knowing shit. I'm telling you. I haven't even watched this video yet. How did I know she's gonna say that? Wanna know how I knew? So you motherfuckers can learn like me too? Common sense. Common sense.
And I was running with another girl that was like me. She was tough, and I really liked her a lot. And she had 5 children, just like I do now. And she says, you know, my son is not in the gang. I says, no. And she says, no, my son's the leader of the gang.
Bro, I thought she was gonna say like my son's not in the gang. I taught him different. It's not a proud thing to say that your kids are from gangs. Listen, we shouldn't be teaching our kids to follow in our footsteps. We shouldn't be teaching our kids to be gangbangers, robbers, thieves, you know, whatever. Like, that shouldn't be the move. The move should be to teach them something different. Now look, I got 2 nephews that I'm always talking about, right? And I'm heavily in their life. And when they were smaller, even to this day, whenever I'm kicking it with some homies, and I might be at my sister's house or my brother's house or my mom's, and they walk in the room, right? I tell the homies, shh, let's not say nothing, change the convo. We wait for them to get out to continue talking, or we leave. Not once have I ever showed them, talked to them about it, or nothing like that. They're not there yet. And sometimes they'll ask me, like, tell me some stories of back in the day. And I'll be like, you're not old enough yet. No, yes, I am. I'm a grown man. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know why? Because if I sit there and I tell them these stories, you know what they're going to say? Man, my uncle's a badass. I want to be like him. I don't want them to be like me. I don't. And I already know their little minds are going to think like, damn, he's a badass. He did that. I want to top it. Nope. You know, so our goal should be to teach them different. Not to put them through what we went through, especially if they don't have to. Why would they have to? Like, we got bread, you know, everything's cool, you know, you don't have to. Plus, I told them, look, when you turn 18, you guys are going off to the military, you know. That way, when you guys come back, your minds are fully developed, then you can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, don't matter. But right now, your minds are not fully developed yet. You're going to meet some homies. You're going to meet some people. You're going to meet this. And that could be the end of you, you know. So teach your kids different.
I said, oh, wow, that's beautiful. You're raising your kids good.
Hell no.
And some months passed. I hadn't seen her in quite a while. And she gave me a call one day, and she says, you know, Ruth,
he dead.
My son just killed a cop.
Ooh.
And you know, her next words to me through me, her words were, you know, I'm going to get him the best lawyers. The best. And I thought about it, and I says, you know, I don't want to get the best lawyers for my kids. I don't want to sit in courtrooms. I've been in them, God, from the time I can remember.
Facts.
I don't want my kids raised like that.
Facts.
So I changed a lot my attitude towards how Ruth was going to raise her children.
Hey, shout out to this lady, homie. Shout out to this lady. Don't matter how late in life you figured out, but you figured it out. And there's always time for redemption. Always. You know, a lot of people will look at this lady like a scumbag because of her past, but not me. We all have different pasts. You know, it's what you make of your life today, not yesterday. Yesterday don't count. Yesterday is over. Yesterday, it's you know, it's gone forever. It's what you do today. And some people, bro, like to live in the past. You know, the back in my day type of person. You know, and those people are the worst of the worst. It's like, quit dwelling on yesterday. What you gonna do today? Show me what you can do today. So shout out to this lady.
And that's how the time it came to change.
Because of her long prison record, the best job Sanchez can get is washing windows.
It's all good.
But she considers herself lucky because none of her children is in a gang, and she was able to get out of the old neighborhood, find something better to live for. She's the exception.
It's your neighborhood that you care for the most. I don't even look up to my own wife.
What?
I mean, we don't communicate as much as I communicate with my friends, because I want my friends, and my friends is what I want.
One time I was in Imperial County Jail, right? I was serving like 3 months or some shit. And all the guys that were in there, I've said this before, everybody in Imperial would go to jail for being tecatos or crystal meth tweakers, whatever, right? But I was always in there like clean, because I was always in there for some stupid gang related shit, right? But I always had bread in that in those times I had a lot of bread, right? And one time we were in this class. They made us do this class, and it was a class where there was like a teacher or something, and he would go around the room asking everybody like, why are you in here? Why do you continue to come back, right? And everybody, bro, I shit you not, it was like 20 people in the room. Everybody said, I love drugs, and I keep getting arrested for drugs. I love drugs. I love drugs. Everybody, bro. So I know what this guy's feeling because I said I love kicking it with my homies. I love being a gangbanger. I love being outside. Everybody was there about drugs. Everybody looked at me like, what the I was never a crackhead. Well, I could say I did a lot of drugs in my youth, but as an adult, 18 and up, you know, I didn't really touch drugs like that. So everybody was looking at me sort of funny. So I understand where this guy is coming from. You know, he don't have a conversation, good communication with his wife because he loved the homies. He loved the homies. You know, but come to find out that the homies will do you dirty and your wife probably won't. That's how it be.
I want it, and that's what I want, and that's what I'm gonna get, and that's who I'm gonna be with all the time.
The homies.
And as long as I can have one hand, but I got the other hand, I'll always use this other hand. At least I got my fingers to pull the next trigger.
Well, when your wife leaves you, I think his name's Happy. I said it at the beginning or in the last video. All right, Happy. When your wife leaves you, right, because you're kicking it with the homies too much, the homies ain't gonna give you no pan dulce, right? All right. So this hand's broken. You're gonna have to use the other one, and you're gonna have to kick it with Manuela at nighttime, right? For those that don't know what I'm talking about. So as long as you got one hand, my boy, you don't ever need a wife. Let's go.
After we had packed up our camera gear and were leaving, we saw this scene and stopped to film it. We saw Happy taking target practice, not with the gun he had displayed earlier, but with a pellet gun.
Hold on though, but I will say this. Big Happy is fucking up. He should always put his lady first. Because I'll tell you like this. When I got shot, one of the times that I got shot, I couldn't move the right side of my body. I still have nerve damage, right? Which means my fingers are always numb. Down here, it feels all tingly, you know, etc., etc. Being outside in the cold hurts my arm. Being in the heat hurts my arm, right? The girl I was with at that time, bro, oh, she took care of me like a baby, right? She used to feed me. She used to help me take a shower. You know, she used to help me do this, do that. She used to, you know, put the gauze on my back and clean me up. You know, some homeboys won't do. Maybe they will, but I don't know what kind of homies they are. You know, so some women are down for you, bro. Some women are down for you till the end. You know. So Big Happy, get it together.
Suddenly, we heard the shots of a real gun.
Happy.
Oh shit.
I shot myself, boys.
Oh shit.
Get out of here. I shot myself.
What, eh?
Wow, that fool shot himself in front of the kid, homie. What a goofy. Damn, look at the little boy in the back, like this fool shot his balls off.
I shot myself.
What, eh?
Run inside. Come on, take me to the hospital.
Come on, fool, you can't. That motherfucker mad for your stupidity. You want motherfuckers to jump up and run. Let's see. All right, check it out. The homies he talks about so much. Let's see where they at.
Happy's gun was in his belt when he accidentally pulled the trigger. The bullet went in his stomach, out his back. Minutes afterward, we raced him to a hospital where he recovered. Happy now has 2 more holes to show off.
Wow. In the stomach through his back. Hey, I told a story, I think it was on part 1, where I was racing to go call my dad because he was leaving. And I had a little chrome 380. And it was in my pants. And I don't know what I did, but I pulled the trigger. And it almost shot my melons off. My coconuts, whatever you call them, right? I almost shot them off, my basketballs. And somebody in the comments said that one of his homeboys wasn't so lucky and shot himself. And, you know, lost the left one. Melon sounded sort of G-A-Y. Scratch that. What an idiot. Come on, Happy. Get it together, homie. There's nobody helping this man.
The Chicanos kill only each other, so outsiders don't really care.
Not no more. Not no more.
And what worries these people is that gangs are not decreasing, but spreading. erupting outside Los Angeles and other sections of California, in New Mexico, Texas, elsewhere.
Our barrio is like our country, our own little country. We fight for our dirt.
Nothing has changed, and the old have little to pass on to their children but tradition.
Facts. Hey, that's crazy, but that is true. Bro, rich white folks pass down companies, houses, bank accounts, you know, cars to their kids. And a lot of Hispanic folk, bro, they really don't pass down nothing because there is nothing. But I will say that's changing, because now a lot of Hispanic folks are getting paid, getting bread. I know that whenever I got kids or I get kids, I'm going to have something to leave to them, you know, including the culture, you know. So it wasn't like that before, though, because the generation was barely coming to the U.S. They didn't have much. They were barely building, you know. That's crazy.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be like them.
See?
Be like them, cause every time they jump our friends, so we jump them.
You don't have to be initiated or nothing. Their rays are a product of charity.
It's part of living.
Right on.
Be like them.
What I tell you? What did I tell you? Didn't I just tell you that these kids learn everything that we got to say, or whatever we say, they hear it? Listen, keep the kids away from the gangs. Teach them better. You know, they don't need to listen or watch. Send them inside. You know, raise them right. They don't need to be a product of the environment. Trust me. Check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Once again, go watch part 1. East LA Gangs, 1978 mini documentary. I'll put it once again right here for you. Once you're watching this, if you do get to the end, we're going to go live at 7, so make sure you pull up. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Once again, I'm Blue Devil, and we out.
Blue Devil, gang, 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 gang shit. You already know what it is.